Hey everybody, welcome back to the Court of Random Opinion. My name is Neidigh. Sorry, I'm not going to be on the camera for this one. I'm away from my desk right now, but we do have just a quick update in the Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni case. Last week, the Wayfair parties had referenced a small part of Blake Lively's deposition transcript in one of their letters to the judge. At that time, they had attached the entire deposition transcript as an exhibit, but it was sealed, so it was not visible to the public. The parties had argued back and forth on whether or not the judge should strike that transcript from the record, and ultimately he did. But we can now see this unsealed portion of the deposition transcript, which was just released, and see what she actually had to say in her own words. And this is regarding the ongoing smear campaign, which, if you ask me, is some sort of shadow fantasy delusion. But she has accused all of the Wayfair parties, as well as their attorney, Bryan Freedman, of being a part of that. She recently attempted to subpoena some communications between the law firm for the Wayfair parties and various media representatives and content creators, etc., which they were unsuccessful in doing because of attorney-client privilege and the work product doctrine. Anyways, we'll take a look at this part of the deposition transcript, which is now available. Some of this here is still redacted, but we have a little bit. The question by Bryan Freedman was, when did the smear campaign end? Blake says, I don't feel like it's ended. Freedman asks, it's still ongoing. Blake says, it feels that way, yes. Freedman says, who do you believe is involved in the ongoing smear campaign? Ezra Hudson, the attorney for Blake Lively, who hates to check her email inbox, says objection to the extent that calls for attorney-client privileged communications. You can answer if you can answer that question without revealing attorney-client privileged information. Blake says, I believe, outside of what I know through attorneys, I believe that the defendants are involved. All of them. And I believe you are. You being Freedman. Freedman asks, and what is the basis for your belief that all of the defendants and myself are involved in an ongoing smear campaign? Ezra Hudson then objects on the same grounds. Blake says, outside of what I know through my attorneys, I believe that the act of a retaliatory lawsuit and the press that you have done, and the statements that you have made about me and my character have felt incredibly retaliatory. Bryan Freedman says, what about the defendants? What did they do that's part of the ongoing smear campaign? And Blake says, like I said, outside of conversations with my attorney, I'm unable to answer that. Now, I want to just highlight this part right here. Blake says, statements that you have made about me and my character have felt incredibly retaliatory. If retaliation is based totally on feelings, then I feel like it was incredibly retaliatory for Blake to ask for my location data for over a year because she didn't like what I said about her online. That felt retaliatory. If everything were based on feelings, the way Blake Lively thinks they should be, then home births and any photos or videos of those things would be considered pornography. And while I can't say with any authority that Blake Lively is delusional, I think that she's either making this shit up or she has a serious problem where she refuses to accept the truth. So if it was all based on the feelings of the people involved, then delusional people could get away with anything. Anybody could get away with anything. As far as the attorney-client privileged communications, I call bullshit. I've already seen how far these people are willing to go, bending and stretching the truth, and I've been burned by it. And the last time these people said something was hiding behind attorney-client privileged communications, they were full of shit. They got called on it, and they got embarrassed. I know that wasn't anything too substantial. It was pretty short, but I did just want to share that with you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll be back online tonight to talk about the Laura Owens case with a couple other people. There was a pretrial hearing for her criminal trial in Arizona today, so we'll take a look at that. But otherwise, thanks for watching. I'll see you all soon.